Well, hello and welcome to Final Whistle Weekly. And by the way, we've decided this one's the one we're going to send off to win all the podcasting awards. It's going to be an absolute classic. Neil couldn't join us, Bill couldn't join us, Andy couldn't join us, but I'm here, and thank goodness Jay is here, and we can talk about the Port Vale game. Oh, hang on. No, we couldn't talk about that. We can talk about the women's game in Cardiff last Sunday. No, we can't talk about that. Oh, I know what we can talk about, Jay. The worst game since the takeover, the Peterborough match. Ooh-wee, those judges are going to take ages pondering this submission, aren't they?
It's kind of a throwback to our earlier Dragon Arts, isn't it? Just me and you.
Yeah.
Uh, kind of, kind of a shame that the game was so poor in some ways because there's not a great deal to talk about. But yeah, let's really talk about that really exciting, exhilarating game. I can't wait, Mark.
I know, I'm thrilled too. What a lovely throwback it is. It's just you, me, and some conversation about bad football. You heard it right, chaps. This is Final Whistle Weekly. The Peterborough game wasn't fantastic. I think it's reasonable to say as an event, as an entertainment event. Um, but it was a brilliant day in a way, Jay, because the team above us and the team below us drew. We Nicolate win. Never mind the quality, feel the points. It was actually a very, very good day for us in football terms.
Again, don't get me wrong. As an actual spectacle, like I've seen watch Wrexham lose, it'd be a lot more entertaining and exhilarating. Um, but for for what it means for us in this season, this free, if not, we could say four horse race, couldn't you, with Huddersfield as well?
Yeah, yeah.
It's could be a critical moment, a really, really solid result against. I've got to say, I think you've got to give a lot of credit to Peterborough in some ways. They are where they are in the table, but at times played some decent passing football. I just think with the congestion of games we've had over the Christmas period, and you've got to say the Barnsley game quite clearly took it out of them because that was a grueler.
I think you're right.
Uh,
Yeah.
you know, to nick a win in a game that we probably it should have been a draw, shouldn't it? You've got to be looking at that and thinking we are definitely in the race this automatic promotion. If I think if we would have lost that or drew it, that would have been a really hard one to take. But the win, if you play poorly, don't play your best, still get your 3 points. It's exciting.
We could easily have not won. And then you're looking at our recent results and saying, okay, dropping 2 points to Cambridge, Bristol Rovers, and Peterborough, that's worrying. Um, but I feel that because we managed to get the win out of that, I don't feel too worried because the Cambridge game, I think, was a genuine good performance by them. Bristol Rovers, we just didn't take our chances. And this was just one of those games, like you said, I think Barnsley took a lot out of the players. And well, we got a break now, which I think the players probably needs, don't they, just to refresh their batteries and go again.
Well, they looked flat, didn't they? They did look flat, and rightly so. I've got to say, I went to the Barnsley game. It was, and you've got to give them a lot of credit. It's not long. We've had a really tough game after get back-to-back games with Blackpool against really robust sides with good management. And that second half, I felt more happier leaving the Barnsley game than I did the Peterborough game, ironically, because that performance the second half Barnsley was excellent.
Mm.
But I think the 3 points in that Peterborough game was the cherry on the top of a really successful festive period, really. And yes, the performance isn't where it is, and I think we do need to talk about creating chances for this game. It wasn't quite there, and we are relying on an aging striker. You know, I've got a real bold claim, that I'll say in a minute about Stephen Fletcher,
They just said
but
he was Asian. I'm pretty sure he's not. He's Scottish.
aging,
Sorry.
but but you've got to remember, Mark, we didn't have Ryan Barnett,
Hmm.
Revan. Ryan Barnett's been creating a lot of chances for us this season, isn't he? Him and we didn't have Elliot Lee.
Yeah.
We had Revan playing, who hasn't played consistent football. Mendy, who hasn't played consistent football this season. And for me, I think they did solid jobs.
Yeah.
But it wasn't outstanding 9 out of 10. But they come in and they did a really good job, and that shows the quality of the squad. That we've got players like Revan and Mendy who could start for a lot of League One teams, in my opinion. Coming in without playing much football and putting in a performance. We didn't concede. The Conco was back. There's still positives, isn't there?
Oh, no question. We defended well, I thought, as well. And I mean, Revan, like you say, well, most of Revan's career has been played at championship level. This is a good player. They just haven't played for a while. And in terms of players who are missing, McLean as well, who, when he did come on,
Yeah.
made a real impact. And again, yeah, I can totally understand us looking disjointed with key players missing. But the fact of the matter is that we still get the win. And we have got to say something about Stephen Fletcher. That's 4 home games in a row that he has scored a late goal. I mean, fair play to the guy. When we need him, he turns up, doesn't he?
Well, I've got a bold claim about Stephen Fletcher. I think he is. He's probably not the best Wrexham player I've ever seen, but technical and ability wise, I think he's probably the best Wrexham player I've seen, in my opinion. I'm not saying he is the best because Mullin, probably for me, Andy Morel, but for him to do the stuff he does at his age, he's way above I've seen anyone in a Wrexham shirt, in my opinion. I was talking to a few of my mates in the pub, and I said, how much would a time chamber be to put Stephen Fletcher in to make him 5 years younger? I said, and then we said, yeah, it'd probably worth 5 million for us, but a 5 years younger Stephen Fletcher won't be playing for Wrexham because he's too good.
Yeah.
So, as technique and technical ability, Stephen Fletcher's he's so good, isn't he?
He's beautiful, isn't he? He's got, soft feet, but he's sort of soft all over, which I'm a phrase I'm regretting already. Because his touch, he's so good at killing that ball. And I
Yeah.
know I'm going back a year, but that Barrow hat trick, I always remember one of the goals where it bounces up awkwardly, like halfway up his calf, and yet he uses his calf to kill it, to drop it perfectly in front of him. Yeah, he is remarkable. And the way he takes like long balls on the chest. He's terrifically mobile, isn't he? And able to get across and with a big leap, balls that players would look to flick on. He's jumping and bringing them down on his chest. He's a joy to watch, isn't he?
His aerial ability as well.
Oh God, yeah, yeah.
He can do the dirty work, but he can also look really silky and smooth with it as well.
Yeah.
He's incredible player. I just wish he was a bit younger. What'd you say, sorry?
My one complaint about him this season. Last season, he tried to score twice from the halfway line on the half volley. He's got to start doing that again. It's not good enough. He's got to keep doing that till he scores.
There's plenty of time to Shrewsbury next week.
Oh yeah, his birthplace, of course.
Exactly.
Yes. But he is. I mean, yeah, maybe we don't spend enough time on him. We almost take it for granted the bloke's going to come on and just be top class for 10, 15 minutes. But
yeah,
I mean, he is just so good, and I mean the quality of his finishes as well. It's lovely played by Rathbone to set him up, and Rathbone I thought was one of the players who actually did operate at his normal level in that game.
He had an excellent game. Yeah, but he looked brilliant.
The beauty of Fletcher, though, is that yes, it's a lovely cross, but with Fletcher in there, that all you've got to do is put it in the right sort of area. You know he's
Yeah,
going to be lurking around the 6 yard box at the far post. You just got to put a ball in there that he can compete for. You don't have to pick him out. You just lift it in there for him.
yeah,
And I mean, I can't watch that goal enough. It's a
yeah.
beautiful header, isn't it? Really, top corner.
His footballing brain is
Yeah,
just way above everyone else on the pitch, isn't it? On
yeah,
average, he's brilliant. And then another player I'd like to mention, I only had a small cameo, was Mo Fowl. I thought Mo Fowl come on,
yeah.
he chucked himself about a little bit. He is raw, but the
Mm.
more and more he's playing, the more positive he looks. So I would like to see a little bit more from him. I'd like to see him come on. I would like to see him play more minutes. Port Vale would have been a perfect opportunity for Mo Fowl, but again, he's coming on. He's making more cameos, which I like to see, and there's something there, isn't there?
Oh, I think so. I like the look of him. I think the only issue for him is, Sam Dolby syndrome almost, that we loaned Dolby out because we got promoted up so quickly that a player that we were investing time in, suddenly we're thinking, oh, hang on a second, we might have to buy in a player from a higher level. Does that happen to Fal if we go up again? Have we got the patience to develop him into a championship player? But I'm being negative saying that. Anyway, I'm not saying that Dolby's finished with us by any stretch of the imagination, but I like Fal. He gets in people's faces. He
Yeah,
disrupted them quite a bit, and he didn't. Well, I can't remember which game was it? The one where he should have had a penalty. Blackpool, wasn't it? He
yeah,
could have had a penalty, should I say? But he was honest and stayed up because he was trying to score. Which let's not knock him for that either. But I just like he's got that awkward sort of the awkwardness about him. I feel as a centre back, you wouldn't want to take him on. He's unorthodox. Sometimes he looks a bit clumsy, but
yeah,
sometimes he looks like that, and then he comes out with the ball, and the
yeah.
defenders. But it's not easy to handle that sort of thing, and I like the look of Fowler. I find him exciting.
Yeah, I find him really exciting. There's a lot of potential there. Maybe he's a next season player if we don't go up. If we do go up, I think he could be loaned out to a League One club for sure, or maybe he comes into his own. Who knows? There's a lot of football to be played this season. And another thing I'd like to mention as well, and this is really controversial. I probably think a lot of people probably
Oh,
disagree with me. I don't think it's the end of the world if we don't sign a striker this window.
right.
Um,
Show me
because
your
we can
workings.
manage, we've been managing. We still, I know, in recent weeks we've been struggling to create chances. Even though you look at the Peterborough game, that was a bit of a one-off. But look at the Barnsley game; we could have scored 3 or 4 that second half. We're still, we're still creating chances. Um, Maybe not putting them away as effectively, but I personally think we've got so far in this season. We've got Jack Marriott who will be back at some point soon. We've got Mo Fowl. I personally think it's a matter of time before Mullin kicks
Yeah.
back into place. We've got the option of Sam Dalby. Whether that happens, I don't know. I personally think he's doing really well in Scotland. If he's happy and he's progressing his career, maybe we call him back to sell him on. I don't know. I seriously think it's not the end of the world if we don't sign a striker. We've got like Elliot Lee to come back as well,
Yeah.
who I think we really could have done with against Peterborough.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe that's controversial, but as I'm saying, I really don't think it's the end of the world if we don't sign a striker. Am I wrong in thinking that?
I don't think you are actually. I think most people would disagree with you, but I don't. However, I do. Okay, I agree. I was when you said that, I'm thinking, okay, what would be my argument to agree with you? And you said it all. I do think Mullins going to come back at some point. He'll catch up. I don't feel there's any fundamental problem with Mullin. It's just he's had 2 operations in 2 summers and a spell where the ball just wouldn't quite go in for him, and he'll be all right.
Yeah,
You can't ask for more from Fletcher, who's winning matches for us hand over fist. I think Palmer's had a good season. Everyone at the start of the season was saying, "Oh, he won't cope with League One." Well, he has. He hasn't scored as many
Brilliant.
goals as he'd like, but I feel his performances have been good. Farl has promise. Marriott, if he can come back and play at the same level, well, that's going to be like a new signing. So I don't have any huge concerns as such, but I can also, the other side of the coin would be, but shall we go for it now? We've got ourselves into such a great position where we could automatically go up into the championship. So is this the time that you go for a big signing anyway to push us over the line? So I can see that argument most definitely. But I can also, if we don't get it, I'm not going to be heartbroken because I think this squad is strong. We're up there for a reason, and I don't see any sign of us dropping off.
Well, yeah, exactly. And my worry with us signing a player in the January transfer window is notoriously hard to sign anyone.
Yeah,
Is people are going to be looking at us, oh, you guys need a striker. Well, we want
yeah,
an extra million on top of what he's actually worth. And, we signed this player. Who knows whether this player will gel with the team. So, if we, and in my and again, I know people are like, oh, you're not very ambitious, but I also don't think it's the end of the world if we don't get promoted this season. It's been a ridiculously successful season. Even if we really fall off now and don't make the playoffs, which would be a complete fall off. Even if we don't, it's been a ridiculously successful season. Everyone was saying, let's get mid-table. Well, we've superiorly succeeded that.
yeah.
So everyone who said, let's get mid-table, really cannot complain no matter what we do in January, in my opinion.
Yeah, I did say at the time, didn't I, Jay, that all the people who were saying I'd settle for 10th, consolidation would be great, wouldn't be thinking that way week in, week out. But the fact of the matter is that was the consensus, wasn't it? And it was also the
Yeah.
consensus outside Wrexham. When you look at all the sort of season previews, they were all saying, "Oh, Wrexham will settle in mid-table this year." We haven't looked like that at all, have we? We've done really, really well. Um, so go on.
I can't help but think in hindsight now, a lot of that was lazy journalism. A lot of it was and I was a bit
Oh,
lazy as a fan myself, like the inevitable happened. But the bond this team has, and a lot of these journalists don't watch us week in, week out, will watch us on TV where we don't look too great now and then. It was lazy journalism to say, oh, well, it'll be lower mid table, because the bond this team has and the unity between the fans and the players, that there isn't many sides like that in the country at this moment in time. There's not many clubs like us who have this feel good factor on and off the pitch like we do. I think it was a lot of lazy judgment on my part, I got to say, and the journalist's part, because I think this side has been excellent. And you got to look at the amount of players that we signed in the National League and who played with us in the National League
yeah.
and now still playing regularly in this League One side, regardless of the budget we had. I think it's a huge testament on the recruitment team and Phil Parkinson to keep that nucleus together.
Well, we've said so many times, haven't we? Parkinson's hit rate is fantastic, and also
Yeah,
Parkinson's buying for the future as well as the present. And
yeah.
well, funnily enough, that's meant we've sustained our success. I'll tell you something. I was working out something I'd never really seen, which was our record in calendar years. And so here's something to chew over. I wrote this from a leader article this week, so it'll be out in like a day or two. 2024, fourth best year in our history in terms of calendar years. 2023, second best year in our history. 2022, best year in our history. The only calendar year that separates them out is 1977. Because if you think about it, that's when in the first half of it, we have a promotion campaign, which we then blow in the last two games. We've got two home games left. We need one draw out of those two games to go up and lose them both. And then the next half of that year is the first half of the great 77-78 season when we
Yeah.
win the third division. So that's the only year that can compete with what Parkinson has done consistently in the three whole years that he's been manager. Um, He's quite good, isn't he? Old thousand match Parkinson.
That's just incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, those statistics. And I think at times it makes me feel like, and I'm not criticizing the Wrexham fans, that we're a little bit spoiled. That there was a lot of people complaining. Even you complained a little bit as well at the start about how terrible I myself, about how terrible the game, but we still won on Saturday.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
it you know, there's some National League sides, that League Two side, that got us relegated. If we would have got a fluky win like not fluky, if we would have got a win like that, we would have been celebrating like we won the Champions League. So
Yes.
you know what I mean. It's perspective, and it just shows the high standard this side has brought to us. And sometimes you can't win pretty. Sometimes it's got to be dirty, and sometimes a little bit of luck's got to go your way.
Exactly. So just to add a couple of other fab facts, just to remind us how lucky we are. That 2022, so the greatest year in our history. At the end of January, we draw a home match in the league. Um, and that's the only home points we dropped in all of 2022. And that game was Maidenhead, where Paul Mullins sent off after 4 minutes, and they still need a 92nd minute equaliser. And those were the only league points we dropped in the entirety of 2022. We averaged nearly 3 goals a game. Can't complain, can we?
Well, well, let's put. Well, I've got a question for you. A little side topic: is the Wrexham AFC season ticket the best season ticket to have in English football at this moment in time? Is it the most exciting in English football this time?
I don't see how it isn't. I mean, Man City, really? But it's yeah, it's great. That's home games. We nearly scored three a game in, by the
Yeah.
way. But still, yeah, like you say. So yeah, for bang for your buck, it's no wonder that the Wrexham season ticket is like gold dust, isn't it? Really? Gosh, you know, it's been what a time to be alive, Jay. What a time to be alive.
Exactly. You know, 3 4 years ago, who we would no 5 6 years ago, let's say, who would have thought that we'd be slightly moaning about beating Peterborough at home in front of 13,000 fans? Uh, it puts things into perspective, doesn't it? And you you know, there's all you know. It doesn't mean we can't complain as football fans, but uh, we're in such a delightful
Yeah.
position, and I just wish all the Wrexham fans enjoy it for as much as they possibly can, because it
Yeah.
won't last forever.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. For 1,000 years empire. Come on. Ow, my arm. I had the COVID jab earlier. Shouldn't have done that.
Oh,
Um, no, it's great, isn't it? And you know, it should be emphasized as well. You know, all the talk about us having money to spend. I mean, yeah, well, of course we do. But you know, we are aiming this season to do something we've only ever done once in our entire history. And again, so what we're lucky to be Wrexham fans at this moment in time, aren't we? Really, it's brilliant. And the other thing I can now thinking of, you were quite right talking about Stephen Fletcher's time machine, and he is a genuinely technical, high-class player who makes you excited to watch, but it also makes me excited to feel that you know, if we can keep going, if we go up, that is him at more of his peak is the level of player we actually would be looking naturally to bring in, which is exciting. Um, he's got a feel of Glenn Little about him, who would come on
yeah,
for late cameos, and immediately you could tell he can see stuff other players can't see at that level. Players who had anything about them would be, you know, sort of excited and want to link up with him. We used to get that, and we have Fletcher, Lee, and Mullin used to have their own little private
yeah,
triangles on the sides of the pitch, doing their
yeah,
little tricks and flicks. But yeah, I mean, Little ultimately his legs wouldn't quite do for him what Fletcher's able to do because I mean, goodness me, he really delivers. Equal highest substitute scorer ever at the racecourse now, equal to Steve Buxton from had a long career with us in the 70s and 80s and was a proper feisty sub.
you've got to think when it comes to Fletcher as well. I know we should name this the Stephen Fletcher Appreciation Podcast because
Okay, done.
for his age and the shape he's in as well, the physical
Yeah,
shape he's in,
yeah,
he must be so professional off the pitch as well.
yeah, yeah.
He must be really looking after himself and doing all the right things off the pitch, which
Mm.
it's really incredible. And again, I hope we don't have to completely rely on him. I don't think we will. I think Mullin will um, uh, get back to form at some point. We will have people like Elliot Lee. I do quite think Palmer needs a bit of a rest. He looks quite tired. He's played a hell of a lot of football this season, and I couldn't help but think after this game, this rest couldn't have come at a better time.
Yeah. Give him a week and
You
a
know,
half. Week and a half on the Stephen Fletcher porridge and iron brew
yeah,
stereotypical diet, and they'll be raring to go.
a can of tenants before bed.
I didn't say no. Looking after
Completely looking after himself. But yeah, and unfortunately, we don't have a Port Vale game to talk about, do we? So
thank goodness, because it gives me a bit more time to get into condition to take on Boomer, their mascot, who menaced me when we played them in the group stages. And I'm going to take him back. I'm going to take him down. I'm going to take him to House of Pain. I'm going to
come
take him
on,
down.
come on. This should be on pay-per-view.
It should. It should. Absolutely so. Yeah. Just me, a gonk, and a cage. Bring it on.
That probably is equally as thrilling as what was going on the pitch as well, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I've just been watching Mr. I've just finished watching Mr. McMahon on Netflix, and all I can say is that this storyline is going to blow all of his out the water. Trust me.
Oh, Vince McMahon would love this storyline, wouldn't he?
Yeah, unfortunately, Vince McMahon probably would love a lot of things that we really should not approve of in any way, stretch, or form. But yeah, basically, I don't know if it was accidental or not, but I did seem to recall I criticised his gonk outfit at the start of the commentary. A bit of fun, spiteful fun. I'm assuming it was coincidental and he hadn't been tipped off by someone who heard me. But halfway through the second half, he just came up into the press box. I've never, ever, ever seen a mascot come into a press box, and he just stood behind me. Now, maybe he was chatting to someone in the row behind me. I don't know, because I was trying to watch the match. But he stayed there for a while. I think he was. I think he was saying, "Let's get it on" in a dog voice. And as far as I'm concerned, yeah, he's making me feel like I feel when I think about Scrappy Doo, the man who single-heartedly ruined Scooby Doo. And he's got to be careful because when that level of rage is opened up, I feel like I'm going to do a.
Oh,
I'm going to do a promo now in the middle of the ring, and I.
oh,
Tell you what.
it's all well and good intimidating commentators when Rex the Dragon's not around.
Yeah, that's true.
We wouldn't be doing that if Rex or Rock and Robin were there. None of this would have happened, would it?
You're right there. I'm going to bring my crew. You're right. I don't know what a suplex is, but I'm going to do one on when we play Port Vale next time.
Or just put the
And
Rex the
toilet paper.
Dragon, put the Rex the Dragon helmet on. Well, commentating that would be brilliant.
Oh, I may have to talk to some people there. Mind you, you can't see a thing. I have worn Rex's head, and you can't see a thing. Or was it Robin? Or was it the Robin? I wore a head once. I think I've said this to you, and I did my Shaolin monk goalkeeper thing, where we were making videos for the 150th anniversary, and I put one of the mascots' heads on and went in goal, and I could not see a thing, and I was told to try and save it. And of course, the footage we were expecting was a mascot floundering while a ball flew in the top corner, and I just heard it being hit, and I stuck my hand out and saved it bizarrely. So I don't have to see the ball because I am at one with the ball. So
Maybe that's what went wrong in your goalkeeping career that you
yeah,
weren't wearing a Rex the Dragon helmet.
yeah, I kept looking, didn't I?
You kept looking.
That
You
was
just
the
got
issue. Yeah,
like Karate Kid, proper instinct, ball and person instincts.
yeah, exactly. So Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm quietly confident that with those skills, as long as I keep my eyes shut, old Boomer the dog hasn't got a prayer. I was give him his full boxing name, Boomer the dog. The dog. I'll have him.
Ex- exactly. Well, to be fair, Mark, I think we've done a good job in breaking down the Peterborough game.
Yeah, and hopefully breaking down Boomer the dog.
Ex-
You broke down a game and
oh,
you brought down a mascot. Come on!
that that that's a promo. You've hit a good promo right there.
Oh, the steroids are kicking in. Ah, happy days. Should we slightly change tack and just say that we haven't had that much to talk about, but we do have another of those archive interviews that I can introduce now. While it's playing, I'm going to go for an hour-long run around the park just to get myself ready. I might punch a bit of meat, you know. I don't mean like, in a Philadelphia abattoir. I'm just punch a bit of meat is my sort of slang for get a pack of pepperoni and scarf it in about 25 seconds. But that's a feat. That's an athletic move in itself.
It
Yeah, so while we do
certainly
that,
is.
well, I've been interviewing old players in the Bamford Suite pre-match. It's great fun. And Sammy McMillan, who played for us in the 60s, played for Man United under Matt Busby. He was there and we had a lovely catch up, which reminded me I'd interviewed him years earlier. I found the audio, so let's dive straight in to Mr. Sammy McMillan. Firstly, a quick apology because actually I've just checked the file that I was using. It's not Sammy McMillan at all. It's Aly McGowan, who was an absolutely legendary player for Wrexham in the 50s and 60s and is still in the top 10 for the most appearances for the club. So here we are. Sorry about that. Aly McGowan.
Just thinking, I mean, I believe it was quite odd how you came to Wrexham. Is it Tommy Bannon?
Yes, Tommy Bannon brought me down. He was down here and I played with St Johnson and I got a free transfer. And Wraith Rovers come after me. And I got a letter from Tommy asking me would I come down here. So, because I'd been at school with him, he was my mate at school and we lived in the same street. We'd been pals for years, so I said okay. So I came down and I've been here ever since.
Absolutely. And you made an immediate impact as well. You didn't miss many games, but for years after that.
No, I didn't miss a lot. No, I was quite regular in the first team, and well, I loved it. I loved it. Yeah. When I came down, I went to the pitch, and then the pitch in Besham, I went to Besham and I was there for 5 years in Besham, and playing,
Yeah.
So it's that time, it was bad time. And we'd come up the pit and play at night, we had games at night, you had to do it because you weren't on much money then, so £12 a week when you're playing in the first team, £8 in the reserves, and £6 in the plus season. So nearly all the players had to take a job, some worked in timber steelwork, some worked in the factories and some the building sites, they went to the building sites, so some driving, so they all had to have jobs to make their money up.
It must have been hard physically to work down the pits and play as well, is it?
Well, I was lucky. I wasn't on the face, I was on the on course, so it wasn't too bad, So. And then the lads didn't give me hard work, They looked after me. So it was good that way,
And I think you look at the way referees are now, it was a harder game then, I think, as well, wasn't it?
Oh, yes, you couldn't hold people off the ball, you couldn't hold them off or it'd be obstruction.
Yeah.
It'd be a foul straight away, there would not need this old pull and shove so that you'd been off.
And you were a strong player yourself, a fullback, weren't you? So
Yeah, I was a fullback guy. Of a sort. Aye.
I was looking at some old comments, and I think it was one of your managers said you'd never seen a player clear so many shots off the line as you. You could read the game really well.
Well, I did a lot, yeah. I scored a few from my own goals as well, you know.
And a couple at the right end, wasn't there?
I scored two,
Yeah,
yes, I scored two. Two headers. One against Accrington. And I think it was Oldham was the other one, I can't remember. I think it was Oldham up here in the racecourse and Accrington Stanley away. So I got us a draw in the board game.
Yeah.
So we're quite happy.
And as well, I mean, you played against the Busby Babes, didn't you? And that's
Yes, in 1957 now.
yeah, so it must be quite an experience, that. You know?
Oh, it was wonderful. It was you know, the crowd, you know, was they were buying tickets in the reserve game, you know, and there was about 16 or 17,000 at the reserve game. But they were just going in, getting a ticket,
Yeah.
out, back in, get a ticket. Some must have paid about 3 or 4 times just to get tickets, you know. And there were some good players they had, you know. It was a shame they get killed and that, you know, but we weren't bad for the first quarter now, but after that they murdered us, just murdered us.
I saw a thing the other day where I think it was Reading you played in the last round, and you knew before the replay you were going to be playing Man United, and so it was a real cup final, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Because they put the tickets up for sale. They said after the match the tickets will be on sale for the United match. You know, they didn't think we would beat them, but we beat them 2-1. 2-0. Ron Hewitt and Johnny Anderson, they scored the goals. You know, but it was a great experience. You know.
Yeah.
Aye. Before the match, when you're getting ready, Billy Waters, he couldn't tie his laces. You know, he was so nervous. Billy, you know, he was a goalkeeper. He was so nervous, and we were all in the same boat. You know, United. Oh.
Yeah.
But it was a good experience.
My dad was in the crowd.
Yeah, they wouldn't be. Yeah.
He was saying this. It was like a one-way system, the whole town. You don't let the cars come up one way and down. Who's the crowd was so big?
Yeah.
So,
Well, there was 35,000, 36,000 or something, you know. And it was great, you know. My brothers, they come down from Scotland, you know. I had them from Scotland, and they enjoyed the match, you know. But as I say, first quarter now, we were okay, but after that,
the classy, I think it was better. And then, but you had success at Wrexham. I mean, you got promotion, didn't you?
oh, it was 2 or 3 times, you know. It was from the 4th to the 3rd, and the 3rd to the 4th, and up and down, you know. Three Welsh Cups, won 3 Welsh Cups, and a losers.
Yeah.
Three winners and losers I've got.
I saw an odd little pattern. I think it was the first 2 years you won the Welsh Cup, and 2 years later you won it. But the one in between, Cardiff won 6-0 against Wrexham to knock us out. So as a bit
Strange thing it was, yeah. It was. So we weren't in Europe then, you know. You could. It was a shame that, you know, because we had a nice side, you know, we had a good side. Because we beat Cardiff and we beat Swansea, you know, in the Welsh Cup, and it would have been nice if we'd have got in there, you know, at that time.
Are there any players you played with who really stick out in your memory as?
Well, Alvin Griffiths was a top class player, you know. And then was Ian Moyer. He was a character. He was a marvellous winger, you know. Don Weston, he was like a greyhound. He was Don. Alan Fox, centre half. Evan Keelan, the goalkeeper. You know, they had some good players.
Yeah. And hoping to speak to Ian more a few days. He's living in
He's from Chester, yes. I don't know his address. Oh, he's got it, have you? Oh, aye.
But he was a real crowd pleaser, wasn't he?
Oh, he was good on the ball, you know. And there was Clive Colbridge. Clive could always get you a penalty, you know. He always fell in the box, you know, and got a penalty for us. And you had Tommy Bannon, he was a good centre forward, you know. Big friend of your granddad's, Thomas was, because they were members of this club, the old club, you know, big pal he is. There were some tidy players as well. Ron George, yes, Ron was a Welsh international. He didn't get capped when he was with Wrexham. He had to go to Cardiff.
Yeah, yeah.
And he died a couple of weeks ago, you know. George Evans, big strong lad, George, good player. He'd passed away and all. Johnny Anderson, ball player, you know, good ball player, Johnny, and he passed away. So,
And you went through a few managers as well, didn't you? Peter Jackson. So was it?
Peter Jackson was the first, and then Cliff Lloyd came in. Cliff was always the caretaker. He always took over when everybody else went, you know. And then there was Johnny Law, Ken Barnes, Billy Morris. This is Billy Morris.
How did they compare? Did they have similar styles in those days, managers, or were they very different characters?
No, they were different characters, you know, different. They didn't say much, you know. You didn't take any notes. You see, once you go on the field, everything changed. You know, you had to play your sort of own game. You know, there were no tactics then days. You just go and you had to play your best and win the game, innit? You know.
This was much more rigid then, with two fullbacks and the.
Yes, sometimes we weren't allowed to go over the halfway line. You got a bit of a rollicking if you went over the halfway line, because you should have been back. You're a defender, you know. But I always used to sneak down now and again, you know.
You had about 2 goals.
Sweet.
I believe that you played as well in the 10-1 game against Hartlepool. A lot of people told me of that as well. Was it quite often?
Game then, wasn't it? There was three hat-tricks, I think, wasn't it? This is three hat-tricks.
They must have got dispirited by the end, mustn't it?
Well, they were, yeah. You don't like to see any team getting beat that much, you know. Yeah. But I mean, they would have done the same to us, didn't they? You know, if they could have done that, because I remember going to. Was it Northampton? Northampton, I think it was. Ooh, and they beat us 7-0 or 7-1. They were shooting from 50 yards and they were gunning like rockets. You know, it was just one of them games. Everything went right from them, you know. So I was saying, where they shot from it, it hit the back of the net. 7-0, I think we beat. Oh, that was our worst beating, I think. The team I was in, you know.
Yeah.
You held your head in shame.
I was looking as well as maybe other cup games as well, apart from Man United. And I think you played Leicester when they were a first division team.
Yeah, we played them away, I think.
Yeah.
Was it really? There's some good players. There's some good players and all, you know. And then we played Liverpool. Maybe it's 3-0, you know. When they had a good team then as well, you know, they were top dogs then as well, you know. But there were some good games, you know.
Must be exciting, you know, you play with Wrexham and then getting to go to a stadium like Anfield as well. It's a great occasion for the players and the fans, isn't it?
I suppose, but I never went there. They played up here. I was on the racecourse. Sorry, I was on the racecourse. On the racecourse.
Yeah.
Because I think that was the time there was a snow. Was there snow there? And we had to clear the snow off the pitch. You know, they made the players clear the snow off the pitch and all that. Yeah. Oh,
Gosh, would expect that. These days, they wouldn't have held.
no, they weren't. We had to shovel the snow, and because I always remember I got the sack. You know, he sacked me because I was talking. I think it was Ken. I'm not sure who's the man. Ken Barnes, I think he said, get out, he said, because I was talking, me and somebody else were having a chat, you know, we were leaning on the shovel. So he run us out.
And there's only another memorable cup game when he beat Blackburn. A little Mickey Metcalf.
Mickey Metcalf there, he scored the hat trick, yes. I came out winning the extra time. And I think was it extra time? Got a bad memory. And Mickey scored the hat trick, yeah, Mickey scored the hat trick. And that was a big night for the Wrexham that night, you know. Made everybody happy, you know, and it made the town happy as well, you know. And we had a lot of good supporters, you know, a lot of good people were nice, you know.
Yeah. It's odd how Wrexham always seem to be a good cup team. You know,
Yeah, you guess I'd have some good, yeah. And it carried on, didn't it, over the years, yeah. They always seem to have a good cup run in, you know, and beat some of the big top teams, don't they, you know.
yeah, it's strange, isn't it? Was your playing, it was cut short by injury against Watford, wasn't it? So,
Yeah, I broke my leg, yeah. I had a compound fracture, you know, and I was in plaster for about 12 months. And it takes you another 12 months to get
yeah.
fit again, you know, but by that I was too old then, you know. And I broke it when I was 33, so by then I was at 35, innit, you know, so my playing days was nearly over, isn't it? So I went to Bethesda. I think I played 2 games there, Bethesda, and then I got offered a job looking after the floodlight lads, you know, Joey Jones and Mickey Thomas, Graham Whittle. So I took that, and then they made me groundsman, you know. I did a job as groundsman, but I didn't like that job.
No.
Didn't know enough about it, you know. I didn't know enough about it. And then I packed, and then I come over steward to the Catholic Care here for a few years.
Joey was telling me a story. Oh, this is typical Joey. He and Mickey Thomas used to race each other up and down the floodlights when they
Oh, well, yes, I used to climb the floodlights and be sitting up there. You'd be looking for them, innit, and you'd say, where have them blood gone, you know, and you look up and they'd all be sitting in different floodlights, and then you race down. I used to be there. Yeah. Then John Neal come, you know, John was here. When John Neal was here, they had to go to the check. So there was all the Liverpool lads, Joey, Mickey, Bob Scott. And John had said to me, "Now go and see they go in the school, because we're having some complaints, you know." So I'd watch in there, you could see him in the front door. And the next thing, John would have a phone call to come to see whoever was the head man in the school. Your players weren't here for the classes. Well, they come here. Oh, they might have come in the front door, but they're gone out the back door and gone home. 'Cause I'd see them going in the front door, you know, I see them going in the front door, but they've gone out the back. And off they go, away they go for the day off. And John had to go and apologise, innit? You know, anyway, they stopped them going, innit? You know, there was a waste of time then going on, you know, when they were doing that. They only went 1 day a week, and they were running off.
So you guess, yeah, so watching Wrexham affected you after you finished playing, is it?
Yeah, so I just he was groundsman, and then my leg got awful sore. My ankle, you know, and I went and got it fused, you know, and got it fused, and then I was no good after that, you know. I couldn't walk very well, you know, so I packed everything in, and, you know, so that was it. But I enjoyed it. It was a wonderful game, a wonderful life, you know, and I never regretted 1 minute coming down to Wrexham, you know. It was marvellous, I thought, and I met some nice people, you know, some lovely people, and I've been here ever since. Well, I haven't gone home, you know. So it was great.
Well, you've been fantastic there. You've got lots of stuff I can use there. So it's
Well, if there's any more, you just ask, and I'll try and
thank you.
sort out for you.
Well, that's brilliant. What I'll do is it's alright. I'll just set it running, see if it's working. Some of these flashy new things, they're not as easy to run as some of the old ones, really. Yeah. But I suppose I'll ask you a bit about your time at Wrexham. I mean, you came on the years, was it Christmas Eve, I think you signed.
Christmas Eve I signed 1963. Ken Barnes out for Manchester United. And at first, I didn't know where I knew it was in Wales, but I didn't know it was as close to Manchester as that. Well, it took a couple of hours in them days because there was no motorways as such. And I remember coming the first game, Ken Barnes came to my house in Manchester, picked me up, and he took me through the Wednesday for some night before the match. Well, I'd never been to Wrexham before, because Ken came and signed me at United, you know, and I couldn't eat anything, you know, in the Wednesday. Oh, no. I just had a cup of tea, and Ken said to me, well, when you finish, come into the barn. I'll be in the barn. I said, fair enough. Right, finished about 2 o'clock, and we were nervous, like first game. We're in the bar. He says, what are you having? I said, well, orange juice. Oh, no. He said, have a whiskey. To you guys. It's calm, you'd never said. I said, what? Oh, we'd never jumped at drinking before match in Manchester, even in them days, you know. But I had a whiskey, like, you know. I said, he's introduced me to all these nooks at the bar, and all the place and all. It's 3:15 kickoff in them days, like that. 2:45, like, you know. Where's the ground, like? I hadn't been the ground. So anyway, he said, oh, he said, let's get no. He said, right, I'll have another one. Do you want? I said, no, I don't want another one. Right, so I said, am I playing? Oh, he said, you're playing. So he said, you had a quick one. Come on then, we jump in this car and off we go through town. You go through town, off the race goes in, big crowd there, like, I don't know if it was Boxing Day or not, I can't remember. It was something like, you know, it was Christmas Eve. No, it wouldn't be Christmas Day. No, I think it was Boxing Day. Anyway, you had Mole Road then, you know, stand there, so I get out of the car and everybody's talking and I didn't know where it was. He said, right, go in there, go through there. He says, turn left and left again, that's the dressing room. He said, you're number 10, inside left. Fair enough, and he goes. So I go in, I open the door, and the first thing that hit me was smoke. I think every professional player was set round at Christmas time. I don't know who was playing, you see. I couldn't, haze of smoke. Well, at United, you weren't allowed to smoke in the dressing room, and I thought, what the hell is this? So I knew Peter Jones was there, and Reg Holland used to play for United, like, you know, and they were there, so like, all right. So I went over, and I looked around, number 10, peg, like, so I took my coat off, and some wise cracker said, oh, you're playing then, are you? You know, I turned around. Anyway, Barnesy came in, he just went, you, all right, go on, do them all, right? Oh dear. But we got beat 3-2. But we only had 9 men at the end because there was no subs in them days. And then I think we played them the next day at Shrewsbury and we beat them 2-1. And that's when I scored my first goal for Wrexham. I remember it well because I was running, like Barnesy put me through. I was running the inside left position. I was muddy dead, Shrewsbury. And this centre, I forget the centre half, he was chasing me. He kept saying, go on, head it. And as I was running in the mud, kicking it in the mud, as I kicked it this time, I just set up, and I just hit it. He should hit it, and I hit it. I was top corner. I said, thanks very much. It was some great times. That's brilliant time at Wrexham. I didn't want to leave Wrexham. You know, when I moved, because, well, the wife from Manchester was settled here, and I went to South End after that, but my time at Wrexham, I love Wrexham. Well, it shows you you settled here, you know. Yeah. And the people in Wrexham, you know, get on well with everyone, like, you know, and the wife does as well. She has a little hairdressing shop up in the village, you know, she's had that it's more as a hobby, you know. And Oh, we love Wrexham. And the time we had here on, I think it would, even with United, I had a few years there, but I think this is the best time. Play with some nice, good players like Avon Griffiths, like. And how he didn't get picked for Wales till later on in his career, I never know. You got picked for the. I played twice for Northern Ireland when I was at United's. And when I came here to Wrexham, I got picked for the under-23s against Wales. And Alvin was picked, but he was injured and he couldn't play. And that was a great match in Belfast. We drew 3 each. And that's when the Welsh team was just coming. The under-23 was Gary Sprake, Mark Endon, Tenny Hennessy. No, all them were just coming through then, to the Welsh, the great Welsh side. I don't think they have a Welsh team like that again, not per number of years. But I knew all them lads, like Terry Hennessy and Colin Green. They're Wrexham, Wrexham lads, and I knew them. Oh, I say, tell me if I had Wrexham, brilliant. And as I say, there's some great memories of matches and that, and fun and that. Well, Ken Barnes especially. Ken Barnes, he was a very good player, and player manager. But as I say, he was on his way out with the KPA. But he was a great player, great technician. But he used to argue with the crowds. I remember once I got a ball. I was on the right wing, and where they come out now, this stand here, but where they come out now, that was like a cow shed, all the shed, right along. That crowd were getting on the Barnes. He always get up to him. Anyway, I get the ball, and Barnes, he was red. He gave me the ball, I beat this man. I flicked it out the wing again. I went, give it now! So, where's the ball? And he's there. And there used to be a little wall around the ground. And he had his foot. I'm telling you, he was arguing with the crowd. There's me running up the way and the ball was for throwing. He's foot on the wall again. And he's arguing with the crowd. I picked the team and Spanish for them. So, this is during the match. But we had some good players, but I don't know. And then we enjoyed the game, and we always wanted to win, but I think today's game is a lot faster, but I don't think the skills are. Because I look at players, even the Wrexham players now, I don't go very, very seldom I go. But when I go, I was brought up at Manchester United, and even now, even at United with Beckham and Giggs and that, 2 good players, I'm not saying, but they can't. Well, Beckham the other day against Leeds, he used his left foot more than I've ever seen him using in my life. Because we were coached, in the afternoons, if you're doing that, go back and kick with your left foot or your right foot, your weakest foot. But players, when it makes me really mad on the telly when it says, well, it was on his weaker side. They're on 50,000 final a week. They shouldn't have a weaker side. You know what I mean? Dear, oh dear. We were on, what, 15 quid a week when we, and you had to kick with both feet. You wouldn't get in the side. You had to play left winger, right winger, left back or right back. And you had to kick with both feet, or you wouldn't get in the side. There's little things like that. And I don't think Wrexham, I love Wrexham, but I don't think even all the time I played there and I've lived there, I don't think the club, not upping the chairman or anything like that, but I don't think the club, the head men at the top, like when Fred Thomas and all that, they don't have the ambition to get higher. But this is me speaking. I don't know. I know Prince Griffiths, he's put money in the club. He can't keep putting it in. But I look at the likes of Crewe. We used to play Crewe here. We played Swansea here. They've all had a taste of the tap, haven't they? They've come back down. But we haven't. We got in the old second division, you remember? Years ago when Avon was, manager. And I said to Avon, we went out, he phoned up, we went out and we celebrated. But it wasn't nothing to do with Wrexham, but I was pleased for that. I mean, we had dinner and that, and having a laugh. And I said to Avon, what do you want to do at the start of the season? I said, you want to go in and ask the chairman for £1 million? And really, there's a lot of money in there. So I said, you want 4 good players, old players, but not too old, experienced players. Get in there and get him the first division. I said, you get in the first division, you get that £1 million back in the season. There was a big full after you, wouldn't you? Like, and then you had the two Manchester, you had the Liverpool, Everton, you had Wolves at the time. You'd be a full house, and then the London clubs coming up, right? You'd have a full house there every week, and you take your money back through the gate. He said, no, he said, I think I have the team to get into the first division. But what happened then is start selling something. You know, and that really hurt me. And I thought, gee, but they're there, let's push. So get into the first, just for a season and just experience. But this is what I said. To me, I don't know, it might be me and my way of thinking. They've got no ambition. You want me to get higher. And just should that. I went down with the United game when Gareth Owen, is it? Yes, I was invited down there. Well, I sat up in the stand and looked at me. What a hobby boy this is now. Compared when I used to play. Beautiful little ground. And they got hungry, well, they had ambition. They had to fill that every week for 13,000. But it's just me, you know, it really hurts me. That's why I don't go really. I thought, never knock the team. I'll never knock a team because I don't want you. So I can't say he's a bad player, he was. I never knock a side at all. I'm just the club. I'm a little bit disappointed at the club itself. A bit more push. And as I say, I'm not blaming the chairman like in the past, but I'd love this. To get in the, you know, it's all right saying, like Flynn, that's why I wasn't a Flynn lover. I don't know why, you know, he done nothing to me. I only met him once or twice. But it was a laugh. Every start of season, and if you put back in the leader, the first week, or the week they were starting, our ambition is to have a good cup run and get in the playoffs. Now, see, if I was chairman, I would say, I'll sack you. Your ambition is to win the league, not to get into the playoffs. But I used to say to my friend, like, what confidence that gives the players, man? You know what I mean? They'll say, we might get into the playoffs. That's finishing sixth in the league. But wish you want to finish top of the league. Okay, you mightn't finish top of the league, but you don't say our ambition is we'll have to have a good run and get in the play. No, your ambition is to win the league. You haven't taken the ball yet, have you? And you're worried about the playoffs. I used to every, as it, I used to say to the way, you see, open the leader tomorrow night and there'll be. Our ambition is to get near enough the words every season was the same. Well, for me, if I was chairman, I would say, sorry, manager, you're sacked. Because your ambition is to win that bloody league for it and all. Yeah. That's the way I look at football. Yeah, I'm more fancy than all of that. That's when
A lot of fans felt the same way start of last season, because then he said the ambition is to survive. And then people really got angry there. Two medals on.
Same thing. But the thing is, what confidence are you giving the players? Even if okay, I'm not saying I don't know. Even if they're a bad side, they'll go say, well, the manager doesn't think we'll stay up or something like that. So what's the use? Think, no, we can't decide here. About people, give players a bit of heart. It's all fillets. I'm surprised at Joey. Joey's a keen lad, you know. Joey wants everything to go, but I don't think he got his head enough. You know, I think there was two. Like it was Flynn and Reeves. I don't know why you have a manager and assistant manager at a club like this. You know, they don't have it at Manchester United, do they?
No, Sterling Loans, yeah.
But as I say, my time at Wrexham, I loved it. I loved it. Didn't want to leave, but things didn't work out that way. Now I had to go. But the manager thought I wanted to go, and I thought the manager wanted me to go. And when he found out, he tried to buy me back for it, but they wouldn't let me go in Southend. But we just bought a business in East Stepney. Well, partnership, a hairdresser. I had it at East Stepney, and the bungalow was here. He came and he said, Southend wants to sign you, and he gave me the ticket. You get the ticket for me in the train. I thought, well, if you want me to go, I'll go there. And then afterwards, he thought, right, I didn't want to go, but it was too late.
I suppose the players that didn't have the sort of power now where they can do what they want, they're why.
But I'd love to Wrexham with all the time I play. There he's liking him though. That's
I was looking, at the players. Sometimes even players like Aly McGowan was just finishing off, and he's a tough character, wasn't he? He's like,
Alan Fox. Oh, he was hard. Rode through a brick wall, And there's a Peter Jones, he came from Manchester United. He was a cross player, Peter. Very good, you know. And then we had Albert Dunlap, and he came as a goalie. We had some characters at tip of that now. But good lads, you know, good to play with. Good laugh. Well, for you, after died in the for like Kiefer's here, would he? And then when I finished the Stockport, he came, he had the last season of Stockport when I was there. Pretty big player, Keith. Oh, you had some pros as well. But good role, if you know what I mean, if it's such a thing, like. But, aye, they're very good players, like. They had some young players coming through at the time, but they didn't seem to. I thought there's a couple of young players. Davy Grant was one, he was the only young lad in Liverpool. Halfback, he's only small, but he's a classy player. But he got to that level, like he got in the first team, he was brilliant in the reserves. I used to watch the reserves. It was brilliant watching the reserves. And he could be playing really small. When he got in the first team, he didn't hit it off, and you know what I don't think he had the confidence to carry on. But he's a nice lad. The reserves get when Ken Roberts was assistant manager for 10 volumes. I learned real months that had nothing to do one night. We were playing Bangor City at the reserves at Bangor. And Bangor, you know, that was like well before his time. The Bolton Wanderers had a fullback, Tommy Banks. He played in the cup wire, Starcast and all that, 33 or whatever, but he was finished there. And he was a Bangor, you see, or Real Langley said, picked that kick out of it, you know. He used to slide and tackle, he had the top, because he'd take a hit. I'm not joking. So anyway, I was a filthy night. I was throwing it down, go went in the bus, like, you know, the coach had a good crack, like. We got there, little Alan Jones, he runs Gressfield, manager of Gressfield. He was playing on the right wing with them. So we had no training or anything. Ken was there, I'd give my hand, getting the kid out now, you know, just fun. So Ken said, now listen you lads, it's a muddy pitch, I haven't got any boots with me. If anybody gets injured, make sure it's right on the touchline by me, you know, having a laugh, like, see. Anyway, the first, that was Sam outside, like, Banks left back. That was Sam, really good little player. Little jiggy play, run up the wing, top picture drop, and he hit him, and he landed Ken's knee. He did, and I said, "Kids, it was only joking." And that's true. That read his knee. Oh, dear old days. We do things like that. You know, we had a great laugh. You know, funny times. But as I say, yes. We had some good games here, you know, some good crowds when I first came. Because we were coming from Carnarvon and, you know, Bangor, coaching used to be all lined up them all day. That's that, like, 8 to 19,000 the first game I played here. And that was a lot of people, like. And then we played Fulham once in the League Cup. Also when I had a row with the committee then. Because we were on crowd bonus at that time. And Fulham are in the first division, well, the Premiership book call now. And Johnny Ames is playing in the good side. And the fullback Cohen that played for Erin. And young Dave Campbell was outside left, give him a run round. And they beat us 2-1, you see. Well, I used to be 7:15 kickoff in them days at night games. So we always could tell, the players could tell, there was a good crowd in the paddock. The old paddock of the Molo, yeah, when that was full, we knew there was a few thousand in the ground, see. Anyway, we got beat 2-1 and a bit disappointing night. But we did well. Got to right up in the papers now. Anyway, the next morning I go in training, like, and all the lads are sitting and dressing in those. I said, all right, I said, all right, good out bonus. I said, how much is it? Like, I think it was over 8,000, it's 10 bob thousand, and they're powering over, you know, 12,000 or something like that, you know. Never mind something them days, like, you know. I think it was Abbott said to me, Alan Griffiths, he said, did you see the crowd? I said, no, I haven't seen the paper, you know. And they always went with the Daily Post. So he said, look at that. I looked at it, I said, well, I can't tell you this. 12,001. I said, no, brother way, you know. I knew he'd go in. I said, I'm going in. I went in. dear old Cliff Lloyd, he used to live, the secretary, used to live next door, but two, Cliff, and Joe and Lloyd, his son, and I, out in the Cliff. I said, what the hell is this? I said, 12,001. I said, impossible. There we go, and that's it. I said, they closed the paddock gates at 7:15. I said, everything was full. Must have been about 20-odd thousand. Well, yeah. Anyway, I was on the way out to her. I said, well, so-and-so has slammed the door. I said, right, I'm not training, I'm going home. Didn't have, it was an option train after the game. Yeah. So, I was annoyed. I was looking at it, and Rod Chandler was the sports writer then for the leader, Big Ron, a lovely man. He was coming in through the door. Oh, look, Sammy, he says last night, you played well, all the lads played well. I said, there's a word. Well, what's wrong? I said, how many do you think was there last night? I said, you've been writing about Wrexham for years. I said, how many? Oh, he said, couldn't say, but he said, well over 20,000 Captain. I said, no, 12,001. You what? I said, that's what we were getting paid on. Well, he wrote in the leader, I think it was on a Monday night, and he wrote the write-up, and then it was a Friday night leader, a big leader on a Friday, and anyway, it was still going on, and he wrote in the end about the full game. He said, oh, by the way, it's the biggest 12,001 crowd I've ever seen at the racecourse. You see? He was banned from the coach for a month. Aye. But I don't know, about 2 weeks later, because I kept it going on and on, we got a mystery bonus in there. Well, nobody knew what it was for. All the players that played that game, there was a mystery bonus, and we don't know what it was for. But I hope we do, room. Things like that, but that lives in your memory, you know what I mean? Oh, it's good. And then when I knocked the fella out, this archer he played for Crew, we used to have a kick, each other, but he was a dirty bugger, but he used to kick me from behind and that. And this game I was playing sweeper, and he used to play like midfield up front, and I wouldn't come up to me because that'll do it. And Griffiths he was kicking. Oh, he was kicking up. I was shouting, come up here, and he's here, that's it. I said, I love you, Anyway, we were playing, and I haven't had the ball in the halfway line. I can see it now. And he's going around, he beat this Archer. I think his name was Archer. And as he beat him, he went, he just kicked the legs from him. I was only a small chap, and he went up in the air. And all mates, all opposites, I lost it then. I ran down the pitch, and everybody's around the avenue. And he's there, and he did it that night. Let him have it. Down he went, you see. And mayhem, and so we said, you better just go back. Just at the opposite. And I went back and said, as I was going back, the linesman was looking at me. I thought, well, I'm off, So I stood there like that, and to put this Archer up his eye would bleed out there. And they're all pointing at me, and I was on the ground. Old Jack Jones, God bless him, there's a trainer who's giving Alvin treatment. Anyway, the referee didn't run the linesman, and I thought, I'm off here. I was looking at the linesman, I thought, so he did that, and he didn't know what to do. Because Archer was badly hurt. He got up, and he came out in the red card. Said Alvin Griffiths. Alright. But lucky enough that everybody in the ground seen what happened. And the Welsh selectors were there, looking at Alvin for the Welsh game, and everybody, he didn't get suspended because everybody knew it was me had done it, only the referee, because everybody seen it in the crowd, only the referee, and I haven't got away with the suspension. But the thing that happens, they all helped each other, we stuck up for each other. We might have been the best side in the world, but we stuck up for each other. There's a lot of, I don't know, we had our arguments, on the back and all that, but afterwards, went for salts and have a pint, and that was it. We used to take a wise out, all my lads and the likes on Saturday night. We used to go to the Red Lion Mark Wheel, and them days, that was one of the end posts, the leader of that. But, it's nearly 40 years ago, isn't it? But as I say, it was my time. I loved it. Well, I still love Wrexham, but playing there, I think within United and the teams I played for since. I think Wrexham was favourite club. I love the place. Like, as I say, I don't go, but as I say, I'm not playing the team or at the gap. I don't think there's enough ambition from the club itself to get. Well, you've supported Wrexham for a time, haven't you? Yes. And you've seen through thick and thin. Like I used to go when I was working, when I finished playing football. I used to go down and watch the games, But I thought, look, come on, even when they're in the second division, and they played some, there's nothing there, push, go on, push, and then they start selling all the good players, didn't they? Like. That was it. Billy Icecroft and all that, they were good, didn't you? Well, Johnny Neal went to sea before, didn't he?
Yeah, as I took over, didn't it? Gummers, yeah. Even Simpson and Thomas went, didn't they? Yeah. To their money, didn't they? Really?
And then Joey went to tour.
Yeah, he went. And it came back and then it went again.
Yeah. But I knew what Alan was on about. He had this team there, but I thought, and bought some bad players. I'm not saying Alan Griffiths bought them.
Yeah.
Somebody bought some bad players. Bought a lot from Aston Villa. He was a good player, but he gave you knees. Bad knees he had. The cowardice. That's it. Yeah. He was a good player, but when he came here, his knees were knackered. And came here for a big screw as well. I don't think I have him on. But that's worth it. Don't put that on. But the old things like that, but as I say, I love the place, the club. And I went down the other night, like when I was invited. I was away. It was my 60th birthday in September, and the wife, for a surprise, it's my away. So you're going away, we'll take you away for a holiday. So funny, mate. I love Cyprus, that's all I got off Cyprus. So it's Tuesday morning. The lad taking us to the airport. Said, you want to know where you're going? I said, you're putting the labels on. You see, there you are, Las Vegas. All village. So I couldn't believe it. I was like that. April, So when I came back, there was a letter from the chairman of the meeting, Harold Khan, in Bernie Hallport. I thought, I'll phone him up. I said, listen, I've been away on holiday. I said, well, just the invitation to. Oh, thanks very much. He said the performance of the fight. So I went down. I was really surprised. The table I was at, I didn't hear everything about me. They must have read up before I take you when I was a young lad in Belfast, like when I played for Arge. Newton Arge, well, it was Arge they call it, and George Easton Senior and George Junior before he went to both the Arsenal and Tesla and all that. He was playing. I played with him when I was 14. His dad was a great player, and young George, he was a really very good player, and they knew all about that. I thought, good shot. The old day. So nice. I really enjoyed myself. Now, see friends again. It's nice.
It was nice they brought all the players. Introduced them.
Well, and we didn't know. We all thought we were side together, but they said, no, one of these stable with it. Oh dear. And Ian Boyer was there. He said, they'll be like, let's see if he goes to the United Twos. And when we see each other, he starts talking about when we were on the ground stuff and punches. Terry's on the conversation, Like he was a great player for Wrexham. And Johnny Neal, Manager Tor. Some nice people there. Yeah. Old George Shallow, and the old mate up the road.
Oh, he was on the corner too, isn't he?
Yeah, that was just up the road, George.
He's a nice boy, George. He puts a lot of time in, but they told him he did,
and they did it. Well, it was Mr. Flynn that done the dirty on George, I'd tell you that now. That really upset me. I was going to go down to see him. Because George is coming up with patch. They could have kept him on. He did the physio. He was up George Shaw. I don't think a lot of people know that. He used to give a player's treatment morning, noon and night. Saturday night after matches, he didn't get home till about 9:30 o'clock. Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, try and get them fit. he never got any extra money for that. And that man lived for that club. He lived for the club, and it broke his heart. But he only had a couple of years to go to get a full pension off the FA, and it just dropped him. They could have he wasn't qualified. I agree there. But they could have kept him on as a skip man or something. He got out. He'd been so just helping out. And he wasn't on a fortune. I know. I was surprised what he was on. Dear oh dear, you would get better working on the bloody road.
On as a coach. I mean, he was experienced.
Yeah. Well, he took over manager, but after Bobby Roberts, so that's why something. And they did well. Yeah. Best one they had all that season. He was a good glad judge. Well, we get a scene to quote that. Aye. So, I don't know if I'm talking a lot of nonsense or anything. That's fantastic, but as I say, it's brilliant, Wrexham. I love Wrexham. I'm just a bit peeved about the team that didn't up there. I don't know if this Dennis Smith will do anything because he's come in and first few matches, you always get the wiki manager, but don't forget there's the same players. But he can lift them up, lift more, which he's seen that the done liquor. Did he go on side? Well, but it
Wasn't as bad as the score.
no.
I mean, we scored first.
Yeah.
And we got as good as them. Like, there wasn't a great kit, in fact. But then their equaliser was a penalty, and it wasn't a penalty. Fullback slid in and saw the lad had overhit it, and he pulled up. But the lad dived, and the ref didn't give it, but the linesman on that side gave it. And I saw it again on TV, and he pulled up the tackle, he didn't touch it. And then straight started some of those, terrible excuses for Wrexham, but start of the second half,
And up there, Mario there. I said, please, so. I come home now and told him, I'm up there, come on, drop me. Oh, fair enough. Not even in the reserves, I said, that's it, I must transfer. Get away from here. Anyway, I'm going to find him. On a Saturday morning, I get up. I always had a bet in Walton Mason's downtown there. Up in the bookies there. I went there, picked my horses then. I went down town, and in the bookies, well, if you ever wanted to see Aly McGowan, you went to the bookies. That was his office. So Ali was up there. All right, Sally, all right. Albert Dunlop was with him as well. He was dropped. Anyway, he's talking about it. He said, what are you doing now? I said, I'll go. Oh, he said, come to the Catholic Club. I says, too early. I said, it's only about 11 o'clock. He says, only 11 o'clock. I said, he said, Lawrence, he used to be the steward. It was Ali's landlord. He had Lawrence there. He's, anyway, we go in there. What do you have? And I said, I'll have a black the line. Take the line. Anyway, there's something wrong with the lager. The gas is in there, that bit. So we're playing snooker. So I said, what do you have now? I said, no, it's not a lager. Well, it isn't a lager. Well, he says, the bucket line isn't. Right, 3 bucket lines. No, I tell a lie, 2 bucket lines. Ollie always drunk, Ollie Bristol cream. Sherry. Drinking away in the fair snooker. And then did him away. It's good enough. So anyway, I said to Ollie, what time was it? He says, it's 3 o'clock. Oh, but I'll go down and watch these today. But jump in the car and have no drive there. I was only down the road, and as I say, there wasn't many cars on the road. I drove down, drove in, walked in the players' entrance. So Johnny Anderson was saying, where the hell have you been? We've been up your house looking for you. Well, you said you play. He said the boss wants you in Barney Liquor. I'm not well. You're playing halfback. I never played halfback. Me like. And then there's they playing right. Played half my position. I said I don't want to play. You're right, boss. I was bad last week. That's right. And I said, oh, you played it. And when I walked in, the lads knew been straight back. So got me in the shower, give me a cold shower and everything. We go, all right. Anyway, we did get beat. We drew 1-2 Oxford. And I remember, I'm not 100% sure. She was big run. Oxford was playing for Oxford at the time. Anyway, the ball, we were on the attack and I was on the road take ahead, and it's ticking, so the lad told me out the lot. And I ran through for this ball, through ball, and the keeper came out. And I didn't kick him, but he made a thing off it and this. But, hey, ref, he said, you better watch, he stinks of whiskey. I said, no, it's not his bucket. I'll never forget that. And then after the ball went out, just by the Bull Road, where we used to run out, I looked up, and out there was Aly and Albert Dunlop, played there, and we're like that. Anyway, you found out about it. I got fined 25 quid. It was a lot of money over a week's, about a week's wages then, deserved this, like. But those things, I shouldn't have done it, but he told me I wasn't playing, so that was it, like, I had no choice, did you? Yeah, and then the next thing he changed his mind, I was playing. So, it was great, but that's true, yeah. If Booker Ollie didn't test that, it's okay. And I always say that, let's see, Charlie Morris, he didn't play. Charlie was the groundsman for years. And he came looking for me. He didn't know he was around town looking for me. Sent him around town looking to see where I was so he could see me.
What a lovely man Sammy McMillan is. I have to go and pay him another visit, I think, because he told some Matt Busby stories in the Bamfords that I hadn't heard before. But, Che, it's been old school, but it's been great
Yeah,
fun. No. I've really enjoyed this. The other three drag us down, don't they?
They do. It's not it's not proper old school. We need to do it in person definitely soon. But I can't believe we got so much content out to talk about the Peterborough game. In all fairness, but we did, and that's the showman. That's the showman that we are, and we've got the women have got big games coming up, and the men in the next couple of weeks. So I'm looking forward to talk about them next week.
Absolutely. Shrewsbury, of course, that's going to be a tasty one. The women's team, well, I mean, I talked a lot about the importance of the next 2 or 3 games last week, so I don't think it'd be very good to repeat it, but I would say Swansea at home, big cup tie on Sunday at the Rock. Be there or be an idiot. That's all I'm saying. It's going to be huge. But
yeah.
Say again, Chase, sorry?
Yeah, it's a huge game, and I'm looking forward to watching it myself.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, of course, Shrewsbury game, and at some point soon, the rearranged Port Vale match. Let's get ready to rumble, etc., etc. Remember, everybody, no dogs will be harmed in the making of that match. Let's go, Che. It's been a pleasure.
Let's go. Yeah, really enjoyed that, Mark. Looking forward to the games coming up.
Nice one. We've been Chay Long and Mark Griffiths from Wrexham AFC, and this has been Final Whistle Weekly Fight Edition.